All right, let's begin. Namaste. Welcome to Mindful Yoga. So this month we have been working the theme called practice. So practice, so yoga, we call it a practice. We don't call out for the workout or exercise. It seems like it. But the practice that we continue working on, working towards inward, and we call it the journey as well. So our practice is also called journey. So we all process, we are not particularly achieving anything, or we do not decide to have a particular destination. But on the way, when we go the journey, so every moment is our practice. So it's not the purpose is to reach to a certain place or destination. So that is the practice. So every moment, whatever we have, sometimes we don't have any issues on our body feels great, and our lungs, and we can breathe freely. But sometimes we have a hard time breathing, maybe sinus blockage, or we have a cold or a cough, or any type of the things, and maybe headache, or our body is not perfectly well. Then we practice with that condition. So every moment we have a different type of practice. Okay, so that is why we call the yoga as a journey or practice. So let's keep in that mind. Then close our eyes to settle in. So we close our eyes to connect with our body. And if your mind is somewhere else, we bring our mind into this body, this moment right here. Then breath is helping to connect. So it's like a bridge between the body and mind. And by paying attention to the breath, we are able to bring the mind, the body unite together here. And let's together inhale through the nose. And then exhale through the nose. And continue the breath. This is also called mindful breathing. As you know, I am quite into the Thich Nhat Hanh or Zen Master's practice these days. So Thich Nhat Hanh is Vietnamese Buddhist monk. He introduced the mindfulness practice into the West. So mindful breathing, we simply pay attention how we breathe. So when we pay attention to the breath, actually mind comes home to our body. Mind is here. And staying with the body. When our mind and body is here, uniting together, we can find the peace, joy, and happiness easier. When our mind is away from the body, we tend to feel the tension or stress. Worrying about the future, fears about the future, or concern about what we did in the past, which we cannot change, is a struggle or suffering. So we work on whatever we have this moment. And at the beginning, I like to just share the quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. It is possible for us to touch the future in the present moment. The future is being made out of the present. So the best way to take care of the future is to take care of the present moment. This is logical and clear. Spending a lot of time speculating and worrying about the future is totally useless. We can only take care of our future by taking care of the present moment, because the future is made out of only one substance, the present. Only if you are anchored in the present can you prepare well for the future. Yes, our journey is ahead, but the practice is here, the present. Present is connected to the future. Now let's stay here for a few more breaths. Let's together. Inhale, hands reach out and up. And then exhale, bring our palms together to heart center. Anjali Mudra, gesture of gratitude and loving awareness. And you might set your intention or dedication for practice right now. And slowly open our eyes. Okay, so let's lie down to the mat and bringing our belt close by so we can access easily when we lie down. So first lie down to the mat and reaching our hands over the head. Let's take a big inhale, stretch. And then open your mouth, let it go. Do a few more times like this. Inhale to stretch. And then exhale, let it go. One more time, inhale. Stretch and expand our body. Then exhale, relax. All right, so let's plant our feet down to the mat. And moving our knees right and left. As you move your knees, notice how your other parts of the body besides the knee gets a nice benefit or movement. Your belly, lower back, the torso, waistline, and observing. All right. So today, our practice, let's focus on the transition from the wherever you are and to, if I mention some pose, so we tend to focus on the poses, but let's pay attention to the right here, right now, how you wanna move to the next. So you can take us slowly, take a moment to move. Then especially getting a prop, we need to move mindfully so that we don't get hurt. Then get the belt. And then bring our belt on your right foot. And maybe the ball of the foot, around the ball of the foot. Then bend your right knee. And try to see if your right knee can come outside. Then gradually back to center and continue. So moving our knee out and back, and knee out and back. So we're gonna go gradually. And if you like, you might stretch your left leg and gradually straighten. And notice how your left hip joint opens. Okay. So now eventually we're gonna straight our right leg outward and then open our inner leg. So you might go back and like gradually going. So our purpose is not reaching or arriving to particular poses. So we pay attention to how we do that. So how we process. So transition that we are particularly curious about today. So we don't need to go particular place. So every moment, every breath that we pay attention. So that is a mindful practice. Okay. So now we're gonna gradually bending our knee and moving your knee to the left side. So again, take your time. So you might notice if you switch to the left hand to hold the belt, it's easier to do so. So make your pose easier and safe. So our priority is safety. So safe practice. Then we're gonna twist. And you might bend your knee or you might gradually straighten your leg. And you might move your right hand outward to the right side. And then you might move your right arm up and down. Sliding the hand on the floor towards your head, towards your leg, or you might do big circle. Yeah, also we have so many options we can choose from. If you're making a circle, do the opposite direction as well. And paying attention to how you feel. And if it's working, and you might stay the way you feel good. And if some place that doesn't feel good, you might take it easy or slow down. Okay, and then back to center. Then we're gonna switch that belt onto your left foot. So again, just pay attention how we do that. So no rush to switch. Then you might gradually straighten your right leg or keep your right knee bent and moving your left knee in and out. Almost like a half a happy baby that we are kind of checking on our hip joint, checking on the knees and ankle. And when you are ready, eventually straighten your leg or close to it, or bend your knee and gradually straighten, bend your knee, gradually straighten, and find the length or stretch to the inner leg. Okay. And we're gonna gradually bring in the knee to the left side, left knee to the right side. So it's going to be twist. So you might use your right hand to hold the belt. And then for the twist, we are finding a length or openness to the outer hip, outer leg. And you might use your hand, the left hand spread out. And movement on the left hand, that might helps to the stretch. Big circle or sliding your hand up and down. So by doing so on the back, we are totally balanced or secured, and we can activate our legs and activate our arms and shoulder. And activating the spine and releasing the tension. One more breath. Then let's slowly back to center. We are paying attention how we come back to center, and we are letting go the belt. And let's hug our knee to the chest. So today our movement is a smooth and steady, no rushing, no jerky movement. Okay, so did I say that we are making a circle with your knees? So you are making a 2 circle, right side and left side, with the right knee and left knee. So goes opposite direction. Then feel the smooth circle. And checking our hip joint. Also massage at the back, sacrum, then glute. Okay. So now we're gonna slowly roll onto one side. So whichever you like to. And then we're gonna gradually come up to the seat. Then seat and hands forward and move our hips back to table. And then walk our hands and come to the yoga mat. Then opening our fingers wide, then planting each root of the fingers down and checking a wrist crease line parallel to the front edge of the mat. Then we tuck our toes under, we pull our hips back, sitting down towards your heel. And maybe your hips stay halfway, or maybe goes quite deeper all the way towards your heel. It depends on how you feel and your comfort level. And we are opening our toes and stretching the foot arch. So we are coming down and gradually up to table. So do a few more times like that. Okay, then come to the table, then move our hips to one side. Okay, so let's see. So move your hips to the left side, then look to the left hip. Then move your hips to the right and look to the right hip. And do so a few times. And notice how your lower back feels and the side joint too. And take it easy if it's not so comfortable. Okay, then bend your knees. Bend your elbow, moving your chest forward. We're gonna come onto the back. Come onto your belly on the ground. Then let's bring our hands behind you, interlace your fingers. We're gonna start from cobra. So your leg can be together, but if your lower back is not so comfortable, it's a great place will be the hip distance apart. Okay, exhale, fully relax. Then inhale, ground our feet down to the mat and lift our chest. So your legs stay down to the mat and grounding, that helps to lift our chest. And you might bring your shoulder blade closer to open our chest. One more breath, inhale. And then exhale, let it go, drop.
All right, bend your knees, please. Both knees. And let's see if you can reach to the heels. And you might catch your heel or maybe not.
So if you don't catch the heel, you might do just halfway. Let's say the only right foot this time. And you can like go your left leg and left hand down. So this is a halfway of Dhanurasana. Or if you like to do the both leg, you are welcome to do. Then exhale, fully relax. And then inhale, kick into our hand. So if you are doing only halfway, right hand kick into our hand. Then left leg and hand stay down and press down and lifting. So if you have both legs up and point your toes, reaching the toes up to the sky, squeeze our glute. You might lift our thighs away from the mat. One more breath, inhale. And then exhale, let it go, drop. On shoulder rest. And you might window wipe your legs, bending your knees, moving your feet side to side. Relax our lower back, relax our buttock. Okay. Second time. So if you did a halfway, this time bend your left knee. Then catch the left toe or left ankle and your right leg hand stay down to the mat. And if you did a both side, do the both side again. Exhale fully, relax. And then inhale, kick into our hand and lift up. And squeeze our glute. And let's see if your thigh might lift up. Or pointing our toes up. And lifting up one more. Then exhale, let it go, drop down.
And plant our palms under the shoulder.
And we're gonna press up, down child pose. Again, we are paying attention how we move. Transition is so important. Then pull our hips back to child pose. And resting your forehead, the chin down to the mat. And spread our fingers wide forward. And find the length to the lower back. All right. Then we're gonna slowly rise into tabletop. Okay. Then inhale, right hand to the sky and open our chest. Then exhale, right hand come to the left side, right ear, shoulder to the mat. And soften your face and feel the massage at the right side of your head, especially temple bone. Then left hand goes forward, touch to the ground. And you might make a fist with your right hand, squeeze. Then on our exhalation, let it go. And do a few more rounds. So we practice to let go the tension. So consciously, we cultivate how to release the tension. So in our daily life, the time comes to really needs to release the tension. Hope we remember to let go the tension. So you might keep your knee down, or you might gradually straighten your left leg, and left toe might resting onto the ground, or you might lift your left leg up. And actually there are many ways to do so. You might slide your left toe a little bit to the side towards your right hand, and maybe stay here. Last breath.
then exhale. We're gonna slowly release. Remember, this is a very important time to pay attention how you move to come back. So bring our left hand closer. Then press yourself up. Then right hand to the sky again. Then exhale. Let's release. The other way. Left hand up and open. And then exhale, slowly bring your left hand to the right side. So side of your head rests onto the ground. So when we give the pressure there at the temple bone, relax our face and head, and especially the jaw. Okay, so right hand spread forward if you like, or maybe halfway. Then make a fist with your left hand, squeeze. Then on our exhalation, let go the tension. And do so a few times. So with the breath, it's easier for us to really release. Release in the air and release in the tension. And you might stay here, or you might straight your right leg, and toe might be resting down. Or you might lift that leg, or you might slide your toe to the right side, then maybe left hand attached to that toe. All right. Now we're gonna slowly come down if you are lifting the knees. So here we go that we tend to lash, but let's pay attention. Bring our right palm close to the face. Then gradually lifting yourself, pressing the right palm. And maybe left hand goes up to the sky again. And then exhale, tabletop. Open our fingers wide and tuck our toes under. Let's come to downward facing dog or stay in a tabletop or child pose. And you might, if you are downward facing dog, stretch our leg. You might bend your knees right and left. So we're going to gradually walking towards your hand. So if you are child pose, you might lift your hips up and walk towards your hand. And then we're going to come to Uttanasana, bending forward and planting our feet down. Then soften your knees. Your belly might rest onto your thigh and head down and relax. All right. Then let go your hands and walk our hands onto your right side. And you might use the block too. Okay, so when you are in certain place and you need to reach to somewhere, you need to be really aware of how you do that. Very safe way, please move. Okay. All right, if you're using a block, left hand goes further than the right hand, and bend your left knee, pull your hips to the left side. So we can find the legs to the left side of your body. Still our feet is planting to the ground. Find a steady foundation. Then slowly back to center and the other way. And walk our hands to on your left. Then bend your both knees. Reach our right hand further than the left. And pull our hips to the right. Okay. Then gradually back to center and soften your knees, round our back. And let's slowly rising up to stand. So with our inhalation, our head comes up. Okay.
So now we stand. So feet is hip distance apart. We're gonna do breath of joy. So breath of joy is inhale, hands forward, exhale out, inhale forward, then exhale, drop down. Inhale, exhale, inhale. So let go our tension. Continue your own pace. Few times. Last one. Slowly rise up to stand. And bring our feet together. And bring our fingertips to the shoulder. Inhale, elbow forward. As if we were joining the elbows together. And then upward. Then on our exhalation, elbow back and down. Let's do one more time. Inhale, elbow forward and up. Then exhale, elbow back and down. Opposite direction. Inhale, elbow back and up. Then forward, exhale. And down one more time. Okay, then release. Keep planting our feet down and find our hips over the feet, then shoulder over the hip, then head is there at the top. Then inhale, hands reach up to the sky and grab our right wrist with your left hand. So this pose, always I mentioned, grounding first, ground the feet, then bringing our legs together, then reach up to the sky. And then exhale, hands to the left side. So how deep you go, it really doesn't matter here. So I want you to feel the length to the right side of your body. Then this right rib cage, you might lift our chin and looking upward on right side. So as if you are looking to your right shoulder or right hand. I cannot see my right hand, but that direction. Lift our chin. Then we can feel the length to the rib cage. One more breath. And then exhale, release, bend your elbow and swing our hands and just relaxing. Okay, we have another set to do. Inhale, hands reach up to the sky, grab our left wrist. Inhale, reach up to the sky, grounding, legs together. And then exhale to the right side, opening the left side of your body. And lift our chin a little bit up, gaze upward, up, but the left side. And feel the openness to the lungs on left side. One more breath. And then exhale, let go, and drop, and relax. Okay. So now let's bring our feet in front of the mat and stand. Palms together to heart center. So let's move with our breath and take your time. Let's together, big inhale, hands goes out and up. Exhale, bend forward. You might bend your knees, you might use the block. Inhale, halfway left. And then exhale, bend your knees, bend forward, belly to your thigh, head relax. One more time. Inhale, halfway left. And then exhale, let's bend forward and bring our hands to the ground and tabletop, step back. From tabletop, you might stay here and goes to downward facing dog, or you might come to plank pose. Feet is hip distance apart. You might do chaturanga, bend your elbows. Remember, we take a moment to pay attention between the poses. And then point your toes, cobra, or upward facing dog, lift our chest up.
And then exhale, come to downward facing dog, tuck our toes under, hips high. Then roll downward facing dog. And smooth breath in, out. And one more. Okay, then gradually we're gonna step forward, walking towards our hand. And then inhale halfway left. And then exhale, bend forward. Then we're gonna rise. Strong leg, planting our feet, we stand. And then exhale, palms together at the heart center. Let's do one more time. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, bend forward. Bend your knees. Belly to your thigh. Inhale, halfway left. Then exhale, hands to the ground, and let's step back. So you might be tabletop or plank pose. So you might go through vinyasa, plank to chaturanga. You might use your knees. Then upward facing dog or cobra. Or you might skip that all those. Then just go to downward facing dog. Okay, so let's lift our left leg up, left leg. Then step forward between our hands. And walking our hands onto your right. Then face the right side of the mat, longer side of the mat. Then bend forward. So we are planting our feet down. So it's like a downward facing dog, but a big, wide stance. And feet is parallel to each other. Then outer edge of the foot is to the ground. Then head down, bottom up. Spread our hands forward, planting our palms. You might bend your knees or you might stretch your leg. One more breath. Okay. Now let's walk our hands onto the back of the mat. Okay, let's have a little bit, confusion. Then let's step back. So facing to the back of the mat, then choice is child pose, or choice is downward facing dog, and also choice is plank to chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Okay, so now let's right leg up, then step forward. Then walk our hands on our left. So we're gonna face to the longer side of the mat again. So this time bend your both point your both toes out and bend your knees and rise up. Then hands come onto your thigh. So how deep you go is up to you. So make sure that you are comfortable. And kneecap and toe goes same direction. Okay. So now lower our right shoulder in and look to your left side. Then come to center. Then roll our left shoulder in. And then come to center. So do a few more rounds like that. If that's too much, you can be just halfway and go up every time. The important part here is we are releasing the lower back, then also opening our shoulder and opening our hip. You might feel the inner thigh, inner groin opens. Then eventually we're gonna come up. Inhale, straight our legs. Then hands goes out and open, spread wide. We're gonna come to warrior two. Let's do the right side first. So point your right toe. So for me, right toe point to the back of the mat. Then bend your right knee, planting our left outer edge of the foot down. And keep our arms to the side.
Yeah, we need a strength, the muscle to hold on to our arms up. So nice to realize. Good to feel our body. One more breath. Then rise. So spin our right toe pointing to the longer side of the mat, and now left toe point to the shorter side of the mat, and warrior two. So this time is left side. So bend your left knee and planting our both feet down, spreading our arms wide, and gaze through your left fingertip forward. One more breath. Okay, so now we're gonna move. So mindfully, let's move. Swing rainbow circle our arms towards your left foot. Then you might bring your right knee down to the mat, or you might just step back to plank pose or downward facing dog or tabletop. Now you might be child pose or downward facing dog, or you might be plank and chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. So many variations that we can choose from. Okay, then inhale, look forward. Or if you are in a downward facing dog, look forward. If you are child pose, rising up, or you might come to downward facing dog and do same thing. And then we're gonna step forward and we're gonna sit down. Then pick up our legs and hold our legs to sit. Navasana. So first I like to make our hips comfortable. So your buttock is comfortably, balanced right and left. So we can totally see I am in the center, right? Then bring our belly towards your thigh. Then relax our shoulder, feel the length to the lower back. So you might stay here, or you might gradually lifting your feet higher, but not necessary. Now you might release your hands to balance, or you might be just wherever you are. And we hold for 5. Zip our legs together. 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly release. And your heels come to the ground. Then lift our chest up. So keep your knees bent and belly towards your thigh. And then you might drop your shoulder, drop your chin towards your knee, and bending forward like this. And find the length to the lower back. So you might, either way, so let's see. So today, let's keep your heels down to the mat. Then lift the sit bone a little bit back and lift the other sit bone back. And then you might gradually go straighten your leg, or you can keep your knees bent, but try to keep your belly towards your thigh. Let's give you length to the lower back. We are releasing that area. You might keep your knees bent, or you might straighten your leg to bend forward, Paschimottanasana. Or you are gradually going to that direction. You might catch your feet and holding. Then find the length to the hamstring, calf and Achilles tendon. Then this back of the foot arch, the tibia. Okay, then let's slowly rise up. All right, cross our legs together, please. Cross your leg. Then let's lift our hips. Then let's come to downward facing dog one more time. Again, we are paying attention to how we move.
All right, inhale, right leg up. Bend your right knee. Then gradually right knee forward. And we're gonna come to pigeon. I haven't done pigeon for a longer time in this class. I don't think I did. So you might use the block or cushion, and you might, if this is not so comfortable pose, you can place the block under your right hip, or you might not need it. So you might explore by moving your right knee out and right foot forward. If that's not so challenging or not feeling the stretch, you might do the right foot a little bit forward. So where we are stretching is the outer hip, and especially the piriformis that's in the buttock. But again, we are not hurting ourselves. So if you are not so comfortable, actually, usually what I do, so that if that pose doesn't work for you, it's a figure 4 pose. Right knee out, right foot in front of your left knee, and just be here. It's the same thing that we are opening the outer hip, then piriformis. But if you're okay with pigeon pose, you might lift up yourself here or bending forward. And also bring our awareness to the back of your toe, left toe pointing straight back, and stretch the front of your left hip joint. One more breath. Okay. Then let's release. So if you are on the back, you're gonna switch to the other leg. Then if you are in pigeon, tuck your left toe under, downward facing dog. Then we switch, this time left leg up and bend your left knee. Then move your left knee forward and come into pigeon. And point your right toe straight back. And find the length to the front of your right hip joint. Then you might use the block or cushion to support under your left hip. Or you might use, you might move your left knee, left foot forward. So another way, if you have a cushion like this, for a longer one, you can sit on that cushion, then supporting your hips on that. Then it's easier for you. And you might bend forward or stay up. Then we're gonna slowly, if you're on the back, just be there. And if you are pigeon pose, tuck your right toe under, downward facing dog. Then inhale, look forward. Then exhale, walk towards our hand. Then let's roll ourselves to the ground. And lie down. Then let's relax our legs and the feet. You might shake that legs and the feet. The legs and the hands. And when you are ready, lift our legs up. So choice is the block or any cushion, slide under, close to the sacrum and lift your legs up like that. Or another choice, palms at your lower back and lift your legs up. Then bring your toes over the head, Halasana. Make sure you are comfortable in doing so. So no pushing, no stressing out. Purpose is releasing, practicing peace. So every moment it is possible to find the joy and peace. So if you are doing a halasana, come to shoulder stand. So your palm is at your pelvis and lift your legs up. And if you are shoulder stand, gradually release it, bend your knees and hips down to the mat. All right. So if you are, hopefully you are using a block. So now choice is using a block to the bridge pose, which is you might rest your hips on a block, second height or shortest height, it doesn't matter, planting our feet down, then the hands by your side. Okay, you can use the block to do so. Or without the block, interlace your fingers to the back of the body, then lift up. And if you are not using a block, we use our core to stay, keep our hips higher or open in the front of the body. Squeezing our glute, tucking our navel and pelvic floor. One more breath. All right, then lift our heels up. Then let go your hands. If you are doing without a block, hands goes over the head and slowly lower down to the mat. If you are using a block, you might just stay there or bring in the shortest height. Then straight one leg. So if you're using a block, straight one leg, then switch that. So if you're not using a block, and drop your hips down and move your knee side to side, just releasing the lower back. Then when your lower back is okay, bring the block under your hips. Then it's a supported fish, the bridge, one leg straight, opening the hip flexor, one side, then the other. And make sure to take care of your lower back by move our shoulder blade away from the block. So we lengthening our lower back. Okay. Then we're gonna slowly release that the block. Lift your hips up. So this is also mindfully goes. Lift your hips, slide the block away, and hips come to the ground. I like to do the hammock pose. So make a big loop of the belt. Then connecting your right foot. Then your head. And lie down. And hanging on the hammock and let go the tension. Shoulder drop and relax. Lengthening the back of the leg and lengthening the back of your spine and back of the neck.
And feel the lower leg. The left leg hip joint opens as well. And feel the gravity. As you feel the gravity, it opens that hip joint. And then slowly, we're gonna switch the leg. Left foot with the belt, your right leg comes to the ground. Feel the gravity. Just let it go. One more breath. Then gradually release the belt. Then move your belt away. Then left knee is coming to the right side and twist. Just adjusting our lower back. And you might spread our left arm to the side, twist. If you like, you might move that left arm, big circle. But be mindful. Then twist the other side. Move your right knee to the left side and spread our right arm to the right side. And you might make a big circle. When you are ready, let go and release to Shavasana. And release the tension. Soften everywhere. Let it go. Let it go. As if we are floating on the surface of water. When we let go the tension, our body becomes light. We can float better on the surface. You might imagine to floating down the stream. Water cleanses and purifies. And floating down the stream with joy and peace. Gently bringing our awareness to the fingers and toes, inviting the small movements. And feel the body. Feel the body here and now. And appreciating our body. Good and healthy. Sorry. And moving our hands over the head. Let's stretch from toes to fingertips. Let's take a big inhale. Stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your mouth. Let it go. Bring our knee to the chest. Give a nice hug to ourselves. Thanks to our body and mind. And whatever we have today. And roll onto one side. Stay here for a moment. Then gradually, whenever you are ready, come on to a comfortable seat. We sit here. I'm bringing our body, mind, unite together. And feeling the earth underneath and the sky over the head. We sit between the earth and sky. Let's together. Inhale, hands reach to the sky. Gathering all happiness, peace, and joy. Seal to our heart. And exhale, bring our palms together to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Gesture of gratitude. May this yoga practice benefit you and everyone. May all beings be happy and free from suffering. Thank you very much for letting me guide through your practice, sharing your time, space together. Namaste. Thank you.